3, go.
This is a public service warning. The following podcast may cause you to smile, giggle, or even snort uncontrollably. For this, we would like to apologise. And now, coming to you from the dairy kitchen at a non-disclosed location somewhere in Ireland, here's Nules and Mark with "'Tis Just a Bit of Craic."
Oh yes, here we are, Nules. Brand new podcast. "'Tis Just a Bit of Craic." As you can see by the name, we'd like to welcome you all along. Also on our YouTube channel right now as well.
Absolutely. Hi, guys.
Nules is wearing the silly 90s hat.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a baseball cap to cover up my baldy head. So, welcome. So, what is "'Tis Just a Bit of Craic"?
Oh, well,
It's our producer, Nelly, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Nell. Say hello.
Nelly is really excited. It's our first our first podcast, isn't she?
It is, from an undisclosed location.
And for those of you listening via podcast, Nelly is a little Springer Spaniel, and she's our producer.
And that's Nelly deep breathing, not me.
So when you hear random
Panting?
noises in the
It's
background,
not me.
panting, and tippity toes, it's Nell's. But "'Tis Just a Bit of Craic" is exactly what it says in the tin, isn't it, Mark?
It
Crack.
certainly is. So two podcast friends have got together to hopefully bring you 40-odd minutes of light entertainment.
Absolutely. We will have Pop Culture Corner, where we'll be covering all things pop culture. Today, in particular, we're going to be doing 90s music.
Hence the hat.
Ah.
And, of course, our display here.
Yes. We have little Michael Jackson.
We do.
We have Oasis.
And we have a big radio station from the 1990s.
Yeah, that Mark knew nothing about. Would I be right?
Indeed. Right, so let's tell our listener about ourselves. You can go first. What's your background, Nules?
Well, I'm Nules.
You are indeed.
Back in a previous life, I used to be a nurse.
You did.
Not anymore. Now I'm a podcaster.
Very good
Shocker.
podcaster too. Island Crimes and Mysteries. Love it.
Yeah, so that's what I do now. Between that and raising little Nelly here to be a great producer. That's my life. What about you?
Okay, so you've gone from nursing to podcasting.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a transition, isn't it?
That is a transition, but I don't do things by halves.
I'm sure you've seen some sights in your nursing career, which maybe you may discuss in another episode of "'Tis Just a Bit of Craic."
I might, if you give me the right amount of Smiddix.
I was about to say that.
I might just
From our favourite pub in our undisclosed location,
Yeah.
which we can't really talk about right now.
No, but we do have a favourite pub.
We do. More on that in another podcast as well. Or maybe the podcast from the...
I was going to say, maybe the podcast might come from the favourite pub.
It may indeed one day.
Yeah.
You never know.
So Mark, tell us about yourself.
So, in my case, Nules, I worked for a radio station back in the 90s. My background is radio, hence the bag here and also the loads of car stickers. I was up the attic the other day. I knew we were starting our podcast and I thought, you know what? I came across a load of old Atlantic memorabilia, pens as well. And I never knew we had these silver bags, but apparently we did. Yeah, great fun back in the 90s. Great radio station to work for. We got to interview some famous guests over the years as well. Now, saying that, we have a well-known guest coming up on the podcast later. I also got involved in the fitness game as well.
Oh, you'd never think that from looking at you.
Thank you, Nules. And very interesting place to work, which I did love. We had a sunbed. Now, back in the day, sunbeds were a big thing. You went on for half an hour then. God knows what you go on for now. I wouldn't really know about that sort of thing.
Oh, no, you wouldn't. No. Sure, you're as pale as a ghost, Mark.
And also, we had people using a sunbed. And I remember one day we had a famous celebrity, Irish celebrity, come in to use a sunbed. There was a wedding fair on in the hotel next door.
Right.
So this celebrity came in, asked to use the sunbed, as you do.
When you said, no, it's my turn.
I was just coming off, actually, when he was like, can I use the sunbed? But the funny thing was, he went on the sunbed and he, let's just say he broke the sunbed.
Oh, no.
He didn't realise that when you're on the sunbed, you've got the top bulbs and the bottom bulbs. So you're getting a tan, it's fine.
Okay.
He decided to turn around. So he turned around and broke the Perspex glass on the sunbed, which was quite a funny thing. So they had to shut the sunbed down for a couple of weeks. Didn't please quite a lot of people.
I'd say not.
Also, though, Nules, we had a thing called a naturist night at the hotel.
This sounds more interesting
Leisure
than
Centre.
Atlantic 252.
Yeah, so
Are they the ones that hug trees?
No, we're talking a different type of wood. Can I say that?
I don't know. We've just done it.
Where I thought it was a wind-up. It was my first weekend on, and I was told, oh, you're going to be on for the naturist night. And my boss spoke like that.
Really?
So I said, okay, what do I have to do? You had to put this big sheet up over this glass window so no one could see in, and make sure whatever happened, you locked the leisure centre door so nobody from the hotel, maybe attending a wedding, could go around looking around the place.
But why if they're only talking about flowers and stuff?
Well, yeah, but they weren't. So this busload of people came in, which was quite funny, and I'm still thinking this is a complete wind-up, into the changing area, came out literally starkers.
Stop. And what, did you know what way to look even?
Well, you had no choice. You had to just look at their eyes, obviously. I know what you're thinking.
I think you'd be naturally drawn to other areas now.
And before you ask, were they supermodels? No, they weren't. So there were people maybe in their 50s and 60s.
Wasn't Heidi Klum. So.
No, who liked to swim, more like the cast of Heidi High, who liked to swim au naturel.
Oh, in the pool?
In the pool area, swimming up and down. And then they would also go into the gym area.
What?
And you would say, please put towels on the seats of the rowing machine or bike. And all that. So I'd forgot to lock the door of the leisure centre as I've gone round to the plant room. Okay? I've come back round. There's a woman from the wedding party with a very nice hat on, screaming at the top of her voice about the people in
oh my God. Well, now
the
in
buff
fairness, if
in the leisure centre.
If you weren't expecting it, it would be an awful shock, to be fair.
And she wasn't expecting it. So, it was very, very interesting, to put it mildly, Nules.
How did you must have had to give her copious amounts of cups of tea and sugar to calm
I just
her
said to her,
down,
do you want to use the sunbed? She went, all right then, thanks.
Don't break it.
I have to say, good days.
I'd say so, yeah.
They were
it sounds
good
like,
days.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. And of course, we'll hear more about Atlantic 252 as the podcast progress. I'm sure we'll get little tidbits and stories.
Okay, yeah, no worries at all. No worries at all. Now, lots of certain features coming up on the show as well, including this one.
Pop Culture Corner.
All right, Nules, tell us about Pop Culture Corner.
Well, Pop Culture Corner, Mark, will be where we'll be covering different kind of topics every week to do with pop culture. Like today's one, 90s music. We could do 80s fashion. We could talk about a particular celebrity, TV shows, all kinds of nostalgia, really. And obviously anything that you listeners would like us to talk about in Pop Culture Corner. Don't be afraid to let us know. Yeah, we'll have all the details in the show notes, and we'll let you know at the end of the show as well.
Now, we might have a guess what we're talking about this week, since we have Oasis, the Master Plan vinyl collection up here. We have, of course, the King of Pop, Michael Jackson, with the silver shiny glove well.
The glove.
Yeah.
I can still see him doing his moonwalk.
Yeah,
with his
and
glove.
holding his crutch.
His crutch?
That's what he holds, isn't it?
Crotch.
Oh, sorry, did I say crutch? He's got a bad leg.
Yeah.
Okay. Holding his crotch. Excuse me.
I mean,
if he hurt his leg, he'd have a crutch.
Doing the moonwalk with crutches now would be fairly difficult, I'd say.
So, what have we got there, music-wise?
So, what have we got? We have now. What I wanted to discuss if we're talking about 90s music, we can't not talk about 90s music without talking about the Blur Oasis rivalry.
Massive rivalry, wasn't it?
Oh my God, absolutely.
Which one were you?
At the time, I was Oasis. Well, not at the time. I still Oasis edged it for me. But
why?
I don't know. They just their music. I just loved every song that they had. I just loved it.
And of course, their Irish background.
And the Irish background, yeah. Well, that didn't really come into it for me at the time,
no.
I suppose.
And the eyebrows.
You know what it was as well? The eyebrows, yeah, of course, the eyebrows. I think a lot of it was as well their kind of outfits, you know, the way they used to wear like the
Parker jackets.
Yeah, or the tracksuit, the Adidas tops with the jeans. I just thought they looked so cool. And then the whole John Lennon look, because I love the Beatles. Yeah. So, they just had everything kind of that I loved out of a good band. But having said that, Blur as well. I mean, come on, Park Life.
Park Life, great song. Girls and Boys as well. Another good song there. Song 2.
Great
songs.
The head bopping that used to go on at the nightclubs.
Yeah. And Damon Albarn, what do you think of him?
Yeah. Well, at the time, he was a very, very
good-looking lad, wasn't he?
Wasn't he? Yeah, he was.
He was kind of the pretty boy towards the rough and ready lads from Oasis, wasn't he?
Yeah, see, that's it. It was a kind of, there was a kind of a bit of, I suppose, that there was a definite one that you would have preferred, wasn't there? Which would you have preferred now, Mark?
I actually like them both. I used to get annoyed sometimes by Oasis antics. And you feel like you'd like to give them a good old slap yourself, you know?
Ball boy antics.
Yeah, but I love the eyebrows.
I don't think it was put on, though.
No, it to this day, I mean, they're we do hope one
angst.
day they'll get back together, which probably
will
happen when we're about 70.
Yeah.
And they're about 80.
And they both got Alzheimer's and they can't remember that they'd fallen out.
That'd be fantastic. Just to, we missed that music.
Yeah.
If Oasis hadn't split up,
Imagine all the albums.
what would they be producing today?
I know. It'd be amazing. It
You
would
know?
be amazing. So it would.
So, yeah, I like them both, actually, to be quite honest. I like both of their songs. Again, Oasis, Champagne Supernova, Don't Look Back in Anger, Wonderwall.
I mean, yeah, you could go on and on.
It goes
and
on
wouldn't you?
and on and on.
Absolutely.
It really does.
And of course, there was more than just Blur and Oasis
Of course
in
there
the
was,
90s. I mean, we've had some amazing... I mean, the nightclub scene was just really taking off, all the dance music. And speaking of dance music, we might have a certain... what would we say? Superstar from the 90s.
You can say it's Rozalla.
Yes, Rozalla. I now listen.
And the song?
You're all going to remember. You're all going to remember this
hit.
song.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, who didn't dance to that on the
What an
dance
anthem.
floors?
Big
Oh,
dance
God,
anthem of the
yeah.
90s, wasn't it?
Absolutely. And we have Rozalla coming up later.
We do indeed. Looking forward to having
Oh,
a
my
chat with
God.
Rozalla with that massive dance anthem from the 90s
Yeah,
as
can't
well.
wait to talk to her about it. And much, much more, obviously.
Indeed. Of course, Michael Jackson was still making hits in the 90s as well. Knowles, you're a massive fan, I know.
Oh, my God. Since I was a child, since I was, I suppose, 12, whenever he had the Bad album came out,
Yeah.
I was dancing around my kitchen and I used to even put the plasters on my fingers.
Why?
That's sad. You know the way he used to put the plasters
Oh,
on
yeah,
my
that was
fingers?
you.
Yeah.
And did you kind of
That
take
was
out...
maybe why I wanted to become a nurse, was it?
Probably was.
Some subconscious thing.
And did you also put on a marigold and have it sprayed silver for the glove?
I did, yeah. My mother was demented from all her marigolds going missing over the years.
Yeah, Michael Jackson. I think Dangerous was around the 90s too, wasn't it? Yeah.
And I think Rozalla might have something to tell us about that.
Oh, really?
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, who else was in the 90s as well?
Who else was in the 90s?
Chesney
Now-
Hawkes, of course.
I'm talking about real music here, Mark. Aren't we, Nelly? We're talking about the likes
one
of...
and only. Do, do, do.
Now, guys, I mean, come on.
I'm surprised at using the stick on me. Just singing that.
Actually, now that you say it,
The crack stick.
I'm just whacking him over the head for you listening by a podcast.
Dear, oh dear.
I'm talking about real music like Nirvana.
Nirvana, big fan?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely a big fan.
Smells Like Teen Spirit?
Oh, come on. Of course it does.
November Rain?
Yeah. No. That's the wrong band.
I was trying to catch you out. It didn't work.
No, it didn't work.
Oh.
I was around in the 90s.
But no, I mean, you got to say, Nirvana, great band.
Maybe
as
I just loved bands that had like a lot of angst going on. Maybe I was just an angsty teenager. Was I?
well. I'd say you probably were, yeah. What do you think, Producer Nels?
Was that? Well,
Yeah,
doesn't
she
remember me as
agrees.
a teenager. She just remembers me as I am now, a young spirited.
A young slip of a thing, as you would
Yes,
say yourself.
Yes, a young slip of a thing. That's me. Yeah, absolutely.
But so many great songs from the 90s.
Absolutely.
When you could talk to the cows come home
You could talk and
from
we
the
probably
dairy
will.
kitchen.
What we wanted to do is send us in your favourite hits from the 90s. Tell us about your time when you were going out back then, if you're of a certain vintage like ourselves.
Yeah, were you Blur? Were you Oasis? Were you Chesney Hawkes?
Were you Nirvana? Oh, listen, if you were Chesney Hawkes, I will not be judging you in one little tiny bit. Will
No. Okay, that was...
Pop Culture Corner.
Okay, Pop
Woohoo!
Culture Corner. Love that. Now, though, it's time for something completely different.
Right, Mark, I'll tell you now. I've got a friend in Australia. Mark's afraid he's going to turn off the camera, guys, because it's on hand gestures, and he's doing a lot of hand gesturing.
I've got to keep my
Now,
hands...
all very PG. It's okay.
Yes, it's okay.
Yeah.
All good.
But I have a friend in Australia,
Yeah.
right? And he used to be on Home and Away.
I'll go away.
I'm not telling you who it is now because
Flathead.
No,
Bobby.
no. Bobby was a girl. Of
course he was. Sorry.
My friend is a male.
Okay.
And I'm not telling you you can go through them all, but I won't be telling you. I'll be saying no to every single one of them. But my friend, anyway.
Brax.
No. God, you were a major Home and Away fan, were you?
Loved Home and Away.
Yeah, I did too now, to be fair, so I can't really slag you off. But anyway, my friend works in radio now.
The ex-Home and Away star.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not in Australia.
What?
No. But he has an Australian accent.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's done something for me.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of innuendo in this podcast, as you may have guessed, because Mark has a one-track mind.
I have not, actually.
Anyway, yes, he did some...
Are you happy he's done something for you?
not as happy as you'll be. And on that note...
And now, it's time for the former home and away stars. Amazing Fact of the Week.
No.
On average, there are 178 sesame seeds on each McDonald's Big Mac bun.
Wow.
Yeah, what do you make of that?
So did Mr. X Home and Away get to count the sesame seeds on the McDonald's Big Mac bun?
He did.
Did he?
He did. I'm saying we're such good friends. He sat down and he counted. He bought a Big Mac, which he is totally against because he's more of a Mac plant guy.
Yeah, we had one of those recently at McPlant, didn't we? They were nice.
They were lovely.
Yeah, very nice indeed, actually.
And now you're a meat eater. Did you think you were eating anything?
Couldn't
other than...
tell the difference.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
tasted so meaty, and I felt better for it.
Yeah.
You know, I could look at a cow,
Cracking.
the cow, our mascot up there, but I could look at a cow and not feel guilty.
Good.
I smiled at the cow.
Yeah.
I went, this is the way to go.
You didn't have to go, oh God, I'm so sorry.
No, yeah, I've just eaten your
Cousin. Yeah, your mother. I've just eaten your
it
mother.
was so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they were lovely. And they actually taste really good. You know, I hadn't had a McDonald's in years because obviously, you know, being a vegetarian, there wasn't
We'd
much to
like to
choose for.
say, if McDonald's would like to sponsor this podcast, please get in contact to justbitofcraic.com.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
That was very good, very interesting. So I gather every week your friend from X Home and Away will be giving us an amazing fact.
He will. He will if I ask him, yeah?
All right, thank you for that, Nules.
You're
Now,
more
though,
than
here's
welcome.
something I think you're going to love.
Woo!
This is the Misheard Lyric Bit.
So you know how it is when you are either in the car singing along to your favourite song on the radio and then you realise, oh, that's the lyrics. Didn't realise that at all. Well, this is the Misheard Lyric Bit, but we would like to hear from you.
We would. If you have any songs at all that you were singing away to and then you realised you were singing the totally wrong words and they actually meant something completely different, we want to hear the song and we will play it here for you.
So it's a bit of a taster for you. We have some misheard lyrics lined up. Are you ready for these?
Yeah,
Okay,
go for it,
so
Mark.
the first misheard lyric, classic tune, Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Ah, classic is right.
So the real lyrics are, oh, mama dear, we're not the fortunate ones. But no, the misheard lyrics are, oh, mama dear, we're not the 4 chicken buns.
Oh my God, will we give it a whirl and
Please
see what
do.
they're saying?
Yeah! 4 chicken buns. You'll be singing that one all day, I guarantee you.
But we're not advocating for Mac Chicken Sandwich.
No, we're not, but if you'd like to sponsor us, McDonald's, it's justbitofcraic.com.
Absolutely.
Second misheard lyric, TLC, the 90s song Waterfalls. Remember that?
Oh,
Waterfalls?
I do.
Yeah. So the real lyrics are, don't go chasing waterfalls.
That is the lyrics.
The misheard lyric for this one is, don't go Jason Waterfalls.
Who's Jason when he's at home?
Exactly. Yes! Don't go Jason Waterfalls.
Now,
Want another one?
No, wait until
Okay.
I want to ask Jason.
Okay.
Jason, if you're out there, Mr. Waterfalls, please get in touch because we want to know why TLC were singing about you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if you've got a name like Jason, you're very happy that they are singing about you.
Jason Waterfalls, that is. of
Producer Nelly, yeah, agrees with that as well.
course. Yes, she does.
Third and final misheard lyric.
Oh,
Here we go.
oh sorry. And go.
Third and final misheard lyric, and what a cracker, Knowles. You'll love this one. Fergie Glamorous, right? So the real lyrics are, 500,000 for the Stones taking trips from here to Rome.
Great song.
Misheard lyric, 500,000 buttered scones taking trips from here to Rome. Hit it, Knowles.
500,000 for the stone. Taking trips from here to Rome.
You know, it's a very culinary kind of theme to our misheard lyrics, I have to say today.
But you can please get in contact via our social media channels, Instagram, or also on Facebook, or WhatsApp them to 089 202 3294. We want to hear your misheard
We do.
lyrics for next week.
We can't wait to hear from you. So that was it. Misheard lyrics for this week.
Misheard lyric bit.
Woo!
Okay, sing a song there. I'll put my reading glasses on for this bit, Nules.
They do not want to hear me singing a song, Mark. Seriously.
I'm sure back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day,
Few
after a
Smiddicks down you.
a few Smiddicks or a few Jack Daniels, whatever was going. Sure, you know yourself.
Oh, I certainly do. Now, coming up in a few moments' time, we will be joined by Rozalla. Looking
Yes,
forward
can't
to that.
wait for that.
But here's a survey for you. So, according to
survey.
this survey out today, receiving an online delivery earlier than expected, getting a compliment from a stranger, and taking a good selfie on a first attempt are one of life's little wins, right?
Yeah.
So, these are the ones that kind of put a smile on your face as well. At number 1, finding money in an old coat or jeans pocket. Don't you love that?
Oh, yeah. And you know what, Mark?
Could be a fiver.
Absolutely. It could be anything. It could be even a few quid, but in a few years' time, that's not even going to be a thing anymore because we won't have any money.
It'll be finding your credit card or something, or your phone in
It'll be your phone.
in your jeans pocket that
Yeah,
isn't
find my
working
phone.
anymore because it got wet.
Because it's an iPhone 10.
Waking up to sunshine. Now, that's a rare occasion here where we are in Ireland, isn't it?
It is.
But when we does, we're very happy about it.
We are happy just to wake up to a little tiny sliver of blue sky.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Receiving an unexpected gift in the post.
Oh, come on. Yeah. That would
nice.
put anybody's
Smile
on their face.
Oh, I
yeah.
love this one too. Getting into fresh bedding at the end of the day.
Yes. That is one of life's major pleasures. Fresh bedclothes. I mean,
Traffic lights turning green as you approach them.
oh, listen, yeah, I didn't even think of any of these, but they actually are stuff that make you kind of go, woohoo.
But why is it when you're in a rush, they're always the light's always red?
Oh, yeah, it's always...
You're in a rush to get somewhere.
Or you're behind a tractor, or you're
Yes.
behind...
Not that we're dissing tractors or farmers. You do an amazing job.
No,
We do.
sure, we come from farming backgrounds
Exactly, we do.
ourselves. But just talking generally, like, you know, people in micras...
You really have it in. Dear listener, I must explain something to you. You have a thing about people driving micras, don't you?
Yeah, I don't know, and I'm sorry if you're driving a micra.
It's the old micra too, the little bubbly one, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't know what it is, but I have yet to come across somebody that drives a micra
Under 80.
on over 20. And it's always when I'm in a hurry, I get stuck behind one. Sorry, micro people, I do love
I meant
you.
under 80 years of age.
Oh, I thought you were on about 80 miles an hour.
No. Also making the list, seeing a happy dog on a walk.
Oh, don't say her
Producer's
name.
actually sitting down right now. I
Producer,
can't
we're
believe
calling
it.
a producer.
Getting a free gift in your takeaway. I've never got one of those.
I haven't either.
I know what I have got though before. Do you ever get the wrong takeaway order?
Yeah, and it's nicer than
and
what
you keep
actually...
it. You don't actually get back to the takeaway because you've got more and you decide to keep it.
Oh yeah, but like it rarely happens for me because usually if it's a wrong thing in the takeaway, it's usually chicken or beef, and
That's the last thing you want if you're a vegetarian.
yeah, exactly.
You know?
But yeah, I could see how that would be very, very pleasing, indeed. Any more?
Yes, indeed. When you hear your favourite song on the radio, maybe
Yes.
Rozalla, everybody's
Yeah,
free
absolutely.
as well.
Yeah.
Here's one I've tried: painting nails without smudging.
Have you tried that several times?
Can't do it.
Yeah, no, neither can I. I
Yeah.
always smudge.
Here's one I can't comment on:
Okay.
waking up on a good hair day.
You did in your day now, Mark.
Back in the day, the mullet though was all over the place.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying, you know. But did you
that
ever
wasn't-
have one day where you woke up and you went, it's actually all right today? Get away without showering.
No, never.
Oh,
It was a
okay.
curly, mullety, terrible thing. Mind you, I wish I still had it to this day.
Yeah, well, they're back in vogue now, aren't they?
Mullets are back. Yeah,
Who
they
would have thunk? But they are. Everything comes around again eventually, Mark.
Getting a nice pint of Smithwick's.
Oh, yeah.
Cold, crisp, lovely head on it.
After a busy week
Yeah.
on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, pure heaven.
But there we go. That is the list.
I really enjoyed that now, Mark, I have to
Okay,
say.
you're more than welcome.
Yeah.
Now, time for a special guest. Wow, Rozalla, welcome
What a
to
voice.
Tis Just a Bit of Craic. How are you?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you. I love that word, crack. Oh, yeah.
You'll be using it from now on, Rozalla.
I'm going to be using it every time. In all the words I end, I'm just going to go, hey, crack.
Yeah.
And what you can say is, how's the crack?
How's the crack?
That's the other thing
Yeah,
as well.
how's the crack?
Or after one of your concerts, you can go, I have just had the best crack of my life.
There you go.
Exactly. I love that.
Just-
I love that.
Just what Newell said to you right there. We just played, of course, Everybody's Free, your big hit from 1991. And, of course, one of the biggest dance anthems of the 90s and 90s. I was watching the video to that the other night as well. Was that shot in America?
No, well, that was filmed. I did 2 videos for it, actually. I did one in the UK where if there's a nightclub scene where I'm walking onto the stage. That was done in the UK. And then, of course, the Americans like to do things their own way.
Yeah.
So
Don't we know it?
So when exactly. So when I signed on to Sony and they took on this Everybody's Free album, they wanted to do their own video. So when I went to America, we filmed a second Everybody's Free video in New York.
Brilliant.
Wow. And do you enjoy making videos, Rozalla? Good crack?
I do. I do.
She's going to be using that all the time now.
I know. Oh my goodness, I'm going to get every word, but just not the crack.
Yeah, you'll have to explain to people it's not that kind of crack.
Exactly. I do enjoy making videos, but I get very, what's the word? I just want to get it over and done with, if that makes any sense. I don't like wasting time, and I don't like hanging around, but I do enjoy the process. And fortunately, the last few videos I've been doing have been with a videographer called Ash Stanley. So we become good friends. So he knows, Rozalla doesn't like wasting any time. Just crack on with it.
Crack on with it.
Hey, you see? I think we'll have to have Rozalla as a regular feature on the podcast, just saying crack.
Thank you. I'm there.
Were you surprised by the success of that song as well, Everybody's Free?
Absolutely. I mean, Everybody's Free to Feel Good is going to be 33 years old this year.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. You're making me feel old now.
Honestly. Yeah, I know. And I turned 60 in March, and honestly, well, one thing that tells me is that life is waiting for no one and nothing. So just grab life by the horns and live it to the full with wisdom. And had you told me over 30 years ago, Everybody's Free will still be doing what it's doing and creating work for me, I would have thought, nah, new line. But, it's surreal.
Isn't
it's
it
surreal
fantastic?
And it's amazing.
And I mean,
it's amazing.
Out of that, you got to tour with one of my greatest heroes, Michael Jackson. Oh my God. When I heard that you got to tour with Michael Jackson, I was just a little bit jealous. What was that like?
That will remain one of the highlights of my career, to support Michael Jackson. And, as a child growing up in Africa, following the Jackson 5, and then they became the Jacksons, and then Michael Jackson became Michael Jackson, and he released, in my opinion, one of his best albums, which was Off the Wall.
Oh, fantastic album.
And then to supporting him and doing 43 dates with him in 1992. I mean, talk about a dream come true.
I can imagine.
Really?
I was only 12 when the Bad Tour happened.
Oh, my God.
And I loved Michael Jackson beyond words. I still do. And I wasn't allowed because I was too young to go to his concert when he came to Ireland. And it's my one regret.
She God help us, Rozalla, eh?
She's going off now.
I know it's too late now.
And listen, how did that come about that you got to tour with Michael Jackson?
I had just signed to Sony, and he was also with the label Sony. And Sony had just taken on my album, Everybody's Free, to release it worldwide. And then, of course, at that time, I had 3 massive hits across Europe, which were Everybody's Free to Feel Good, Faith in the Power of Love, and Are You Ready to Fly? And I was told Michael Jackson was looking for an artist that had major dance hits across Europe and in England. And so I was one of the artists that were put forward to him. And I remember I was in the offices in New York, at the Sony offices, talking about my next album to do with them. And I got a call saying, hey, you better come back ASAP because Michael has chosen you personally.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, what? I couldn't have gone to the airport faster than lightning. I was so excited. I couldn't believe it. So he chose me personally.
Oh my God. And what was he like? What was he like as a person, Rozalla?
He was such a nice guy. I got pictures of him and I in my office. Some of my friends who don't know that I supported him come into the office and look at this picture of Michael and I and go, hey, so we see someone's been Madame Tussauds.
Very
Terrible.
I bet you were quick to tell them
no.
otherwise.
Oh, yeah. I tell them the whole story. I locked the office door until they know that I supported him. But, it was just a magical time in my career to have had that opportunity, and it will remain one of the highlights in my career.
Absolutely.
Is it true that he asked you for some advice on something?
He did, because he cancelled I remember it was Wembley Arena. At the 11th hour, he cancelled, and I just got off stage, and Michael's security guards were all like 6'5". We all became friends, and they grabbed me off the stage, and I'm going, what's going on? And they're like, Michael's not coming. The show's not going to happen. So they were all worried a riot was going to happen. Fortunately, didn't. A few people threw some cans of Coke. That's as far as the riot.
As long as it
got.
wasn't Pepsi, I suppose it was all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember that terrible thing?
Exactly. I thought, a can of Coke is fine. So, but they dashed me out of the stadium.
Maybe my 12-year-old self was there throwing Coke. I wasn't allowed to go.
But when I met Michael to take these photos with him, we got to chatting, and he was just so easygoing. He was so I couldn't believe it. He was lovely to talk to. And then he said to me, Rozalla, how do you look after your voice? Because that's why I had to cancel my last gigs because I started having vocal problems. I froze because I'm thinking he's asking me how he looks after his voice.
That'll tell you how
And
highly he thought of you.
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just heard myself saying honey and lemon.
The old cures are the best.
And today, Rozalla, you could record that and just keep playing it back to yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's brilliant.
And come here, another big deal, I think, in your career was that you got to sing the theme song to Carlito's Way, the movie.
Oh, that was just amazing. And I've got another story for you for that, if you want me to tell it.
Yeah,
Oh, we love it
absolutely.
on Tis Just a Bit of Crack.
Yeah, tell us.
You too. What are you both like, honestly? But I tell you what happened. I was due to fly to New York, say it was on the Monday, to perform at Carlito's Way premiere on the Wednesday. So it was a Sunday. I was still in the UK. Mm-hmm. And me and my friends went out to this Italian restaurant where I used to sing at, before Everybody's Free broke. So the owner really liked me. And I went there with 3 of my friends. And who was there? Al Pacino and about 14 other people.
Stop.
I could not believe it. And I thought, shall I go up to him and tell him I'll be performing at the premiere in New York on Wednesday? So anyway, I thought, just go up to him. My friends were like, go. So I went up to him and I said, Mr. Pacino, my name is Rozalla. I recorded I Love Music with Jellybean Benitez, and I'll be performing at, I think it was a Ziegfeld Theatre, and at the premiere. And I gave him all these names. So he's like, she's got some inside information. She can't be making this up, So he's like...
He didn't have you arrested.
Exactly. He's like, everybody, this is Rozalla. They were like, yay! And I thought, oh, thank you. And I thought that was the end of that. He was like, Rozalla, let's have a dance. I thought, what?
With Al Pacino? Oh, my God.
Al Pacino. And we had a dance, and he's about the same height as me.
No way, really.
You should have given him a lend to your heels.
Way. Honestly, I didn't have heels on, and he's the same height. And I tell you what, he was spinning me around this dance floor, and I just remember thinking, he's so strong, and I'm going to fall. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so at the premiere, I went up to him. There were all these paparazzi flashing away, taking pictures. And I said, remember we met on Sunday night, Mr. Pacino? I went, of course I do, Rozalla. Come here. And he gave me a big hug.
Oh.
And my story to this is that till today, I do not have not one picture with myself and Al Pacino.
Oh, so it's all allegedly.
All these paparazzi were taking pictures.
You're
and
joking.
there's not one. So there you go. Honestly.
Oh, my God. Do you know what we were talking about 90s music on our pop culture segment there earlier. What pop stars would you kind of been rubbing the shoulders with back in the 90s, Rozalla?
Oh my good, we've all become friends now. You know, one of them that's a really good friend of mine is Baby D. You know,
Oh yeah, Let Me Be Your Fantasy. Lovely, brilliant song.
Yeah, she's a beautiful human being. Angie Brown, Playing with Knives. I'm gonna get you, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Two Unlimited. Ray and I are really good friends.
Two Unlimited.
Come on, all together.
Rozalla, I learned how to drive with that song playing in the cassette in my car. And my father used to be giving out to me, telling me I wasn't concentrating.
I'm not surprised.
That
God.
I mean, we've all become good friends. You know, Hadaway, Dr. Alban.
Oh, I love Hadaway and Dr. Alban. Hadaway. I have to say, Rozalla, Hadaway and Dr. Alban, the only two guys apart from Tom Jones that could get away wearing leather pants. Am I right?
Oh, Hadaway still wears those pants.
Does
he?
He'd be delighted to know it's okay.
Yeah.
And is it true? Is it true that Dr. Alban used to be a dentist?
Oh, that I don't know. I'm going to ask him that now.
That was flying around back in the 90s. Yeah, that was kind of the, because I work in radio, and when I was working back in the 90s for a radio station, we were always playing Yourself, obviously, Everybody's Free, and also Dr. Alban. And there was this thing going around there. When you were back announcing the song, you'd be saying, yeah, he's a former dentist. So I'd love to get that clarified.
I'm going to ask him that. He honestly, whenever Dr. Alban and I see each other, we tease each other and go, yeah, we're back from the African motherland, because he's African by descent.
Well, if he's looking at your teeth, you might have an idea he probably was a dentist.
Mark needs his dentures sorted, so if you put in a word
indeed.
for him.
I'll call Dr. Alban for you, don't worry. I'll put him on the call.
Oh my God, you've just named out my whole 90s repertoire there. It's unbelievable, it's unbelievable. You just brought me right back to that time, that period of time,
What was
good people.
What was Top of the Pops like when you were up here on that? Is that kind of a fun thing to do, or was it kind of quite stressful?
Honestly, I loved it. I mean, obviously, they'd want to say at about 10:30 in the morning, and then you're going on and you're doing a run through at about 10:30 or so in the morning, and your voice hasn't woken up.
Of course.
So I'm singing and my voice is cracking and I'm going, oh my gosh, and I just want to cry. And they're like, don't worry, it's just a run through. And then they do the actual take about, 3, 4 in the afternoon when the voice is fully warmed up. And on all the Top of the Pops I had the fortune of doing, I sang live. So by that point, my voice would be warmed up and stuff. But it was so lovely. We were there all day. They'd give us breakfast. The canteens were lovely. I just loved every moment, and having the opportunity to meet other artists on it. I got the fortune of meeting Mariah Carey, Sting, and Tina Turner was there once, but I didn't get to meet her because she had all these security guards around her, But I thought, she's here. She's so near, yet so far.
She's in the building and you can't even get to see her.
She's in the building.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but
Another
there were
legend.
so many artists. Another legend, and I was a big fan. But yeah, they were all lovely. Oh
my God, it sounds like you have had an amazing life so far, Rozalla. I can seriously.
It's been great.
I mean, you also toured with Billy Ocean. Would I be right?
Yes. Oh, Billy, honestly, Billy.
Good crack.
I did 53 dates with him. Yeah, crack. He's crack.
He's good crack.
He's good crack.
He's good crack. He was just incredible. I did 53 dates with him across the UK, and the reason that was so many, we started late 2008, and then we had a 2-month break, and then we got back 2009 from March and ended the tour around April. And I got to doing that with him because I released a sort of a easy listening jazzy, not strictly jazz, but jazzy album. And we also sort of jazzed up Everybody's Free, which I did at the end because, let's face it, I can't get away with not ever doing that song.
Absolutely. And come here, another one of your songs that I absolutely love. I love all your songs, but this one in particular is Love Fool.
Thank you.
Love Fool. So I do.
Great song.
It's a great song. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, and Another question I want to ask you now is, what is Rozalla up to in 2024?
Well, I've got a new album out. We released the album on the 26th of February.
Turn on the light.
The current single from it is called Turn on the Light.
Brilliant.
That's right.
Yep.
And the current single thank you so much. Current single we have from that right now is called Lot of Love. And we're just planning the next single. And I can tell you the title of that one is called Let's Go Together. It's a cover that I did, and it was originally done by a group called Change back in the day, back I think 2000, in the 80s, I think.
Yeah.
So, we're planning that. I just saw the new sleeve today, and
And
so that's what I'm doing. And I've got, loads of festivals and gigs nearly every weekend till
Any
the end of
tours
the
of
year.
Ireland coming up?
Yeah, you must come over and see us.
I think so. I hope so. I think I've got Ireland somewhere in there.
Well,
I'm
if you
sure
are
I have.
coming,
I
you
hope
have to
so.
let Mark know, and we'll have to come and meet you in person.
I will let you guys know.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
We
Listen,
love
it's
that.
been an absolute pleasure. I must also give a big shout out to Jonathan Dahl, who organised the interview, because he's a lovely guy, Jonathan, and also to Dave James at Global Radio on the Costa del Sol. So they were helping us out to get yourself on Tis Just a Bit of Craic. Rozalla, you're a star, and thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today.
Thanks,
you. You guys have been amazing. You've been amazing.
It's been an
Thank
honour
you
to
so
speak
much.
to you. It's been a real honour. Absolutely.
It's been a lovely interview. You've made my day.
And continued success to
Yeah.
you, Rozalla. And we will see
Thank
you in
you so
Ireland,
much.
please God.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah,
You guys have made my day.
yeah.
Thank you,
much.
Rozalla.
Thanks,
Have a lovely
Rozalla.
day. Mind
All the
yourself.
best.
Bye.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
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 Take care. Bye.
Again, that was Rozalla.
Oh, I really enjoyed talking to Rozalla.
me
what
too.
a lovely woman. Absolutely. She met all my expectations. She was really nice, really humble.
Great crack.
And
And she
great
enjoyed the word
crack.
crack, which was amazing.
Yeah, she's going to be using it all the time now. So she is. And we can't wait to see her when she comes to Ireland.
Yeah, we've tried to get her to come over,
Yeah. We're
And
going to make sure it happens.
bring her to our local.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For a pint of
She'll
Smithers.
certainly love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is it for this episode, the very
no, I don't want
first
it to be it. I
episode
don't
of
want it to
Tis
be
Just a
it.
Bit of Craic.
Come on now, you two. Time to wrap this podcast up.
See, there
I
we
think
go.
Nelly wants her dinner, so, who is that anyway? Did you just hear the voice that I
I heard a voice up in the air.
Will someone start the end of the podcast music, please?
That sounds dangerously like Fiona to me.
Does like Fiona. But listen, do you know what? Thank you so much for listening. It's episode number 1. Please comment on what you think of the podcast, and
Absolutely.
keep your Misheard lyrics coming as well.
Yeah, we can't wait to hear from you all, guys.
And we'll talk to you next week.
And pop culture, give us ideas for pop culture. We'd
Yeah.
love to hear from you.
Take care
All
till
right?
next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's all, folks.
You've been listening to Tis Just a Bit of Craic with Nules and Mark. Produced by West 10 Audio and Inish Tree Productions. Unfortunately, they will be back next week.